You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes!
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Yeah, thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show, man. This is a Throwback Thursday. But on Thursdays, what do we do? What do we do on Thursdays? We bring it back! Bring it back. We bring it back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up to all of my Stewies out there? Yeah, I nub new. Shouts out to Oakley. What up, Atlanta? Nationwide, worldwide. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Me and the studio audience are on point, ready to go today, May 28th, 2015. This is a Throwback Thursday. Thank you for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. If you're a new listener to the Doug Stewart Show, thank you and welcome. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Welcome. We have a lot of fun around here, man. Guy talk sports, whatever's going on in the world, whatever dudes are talking about in the barbershop, that's what we do here on the Doug Stewart Show. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We do birthdays, but the big thing is you can give me a call, you can email me and all of that stuff, but the big thing is to be totally interactive and follow the show on Spreaker.com. All right, you follow the show on Spreaker.com, and then you jump in the chat room with all the other Stewies and be totally interactive. Speaking of which, shouts out to all of the Stewies already in the chat room. Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, so congratulations are in order. The Golden State Warriors are going to the NBA Finals. They handled their business last night. We're going to obviously talk about that today. First time in 40 years. We're going to get into that. Some NBA coaching rumors. Russia's mad at America. Adrian Peterson held hostage. Ray McDonald's the new can't get right. Yeah. Hawks injuries updates. HBO has a new team for Hard Knocks. There's a lot of little things we're going to get into today. But you know what today is? Today is National Hamburger Day. Hamburgesa. Wow. As horrible as I was in Spanish in high school, one of the words I do remember is Hamburgesa. Today is National Hamburger Day. Now, hamburgers hold a special place in my heart. To make a long story short, or maybe, not so long. My first job, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, my first job ever was at the Great McDonald's, the way black people say it, was the Great McDonald's in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. And so this McDonald's was bought by a guy named Roland Harper. You might be saying to yourself, damn, the name sounds kind of familiar. Yes, Roland Harper played fullback for the Chicago Bears, and he was actually the blocking back. Yeah, they gave him the ball every once in a while. He was the blocking back for Walter Payton. Okay, so he was from Chicago, and he came down. I guess it was a business investment or whatever. And so he came to my little town of Moncks Corner, South Carolina, and in turning on the lights or putting the lights in his name, in his company's name, he went into our local electric company. My mother worked at said electric company from the day she graduated high school until about 2 years ago. Yes. My mother worked at our local telephone company. It's called Berkeley Electric Co-op. She worked there for, I'm going to guess, 35 to 40 years. Okay? And so Roland Harper comes in there trying to change all the services into his name and his company's name or whatever, and he meets my mother. My mother handled that type of thing, and, I hate to even think about it, but I'm pretty sure that he probably was kind of sweet on my mama. So anyway, my mother knew that I was in the market for a job. I was of age, and at that time, I think I was like 15 years old, and you could work in South Carolina or whatever. I'm pretty sure child labor laws don't like to hear that now. So I was like 15 or 14 years old, and my mother handled his account, and my mother says, you know what, my son needs a job. And Roland was like, man, send him on down. And I went down, and I don't even think I filled out a damn application. I don't think I did a W-2 or anything like that. But I went down there, and they gave me a shirt, and that day, I started learning the McDonald's way. Yes, sir! I started flipping burgers from day one, Jack. And oh, man. I mean, back then, and you don't see it now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, back then, we took a lot of pride in that job, man. And you can tell from these kids today, when you go into a fast food restaurant, they don't give a damn about that job. But it was a cool thing back in, 1982 or 83 or whatever, to work at McDonald's. I mean, it was a cool job. It was a cool gig. And then the big thing that I didn't realize until the first night that I closed is all of the leftover food, they give it to you. Right. So, I left from there many a nights with 4 or 5 quarter pounders with cheese, some Big Macs. They put a sack full of the little kids' hamburgers in a bag, and they just let us take it. So that was unbelievable to me, man. So I worked there for probably maybe 2 years, and it was after football season. So on Friday night during basketball season, I remember everybody used to come in there, and they used to see me in the back. I was making a little bit of money, so I was cool. I couldn't hang out with all the other little kids. I was working. I was working at this is another nickname that black people use, the Great Mickey D's. And so McDonald's holds a special place in my heart. So today, this is what we're going to do. I went all of that way just to tell you that little story. Today, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun with this. Give me your favorite fast food hamburger, okay? And I'm not doing it like I typically do with a top 5, and I'll give you my top 5 hamburgers in order or whatever. I'm not going to do that because I feel like at some point it may come back to bite me. You know, maybe a fast food company wants to give me, a sponsorship, and then somebody pulls out some tape of me saying I don't like their burgers or I like other companies' burgers better than theirs. So today it's going to be real generic. I'm going to give you 5 hamburgers that I like. It's not going to be a particular order, okay? And it's not just the only 5 hamburgers I like. I like all fast food hamburgers. I know a lot of people got problems and issues with fast food burgers or whatever, but not me, Jack. Not me. Knock on wood. I'm in very good health to be 45 years old and still in shape. I run a lot. I lift weights. I'm in great shape. I mean, I take off this shirt, you think I'm groundskeeper Willie. But I love fast food burgers, okay? And I'm going to give you my 5 favorite or 5 mentions of 5 burgers that I particularly am fond of, all right? And then so in the chat, let me get some of your thoughts on that as well. National Hamburger Day. I didn't know they had such a thing. And then until it popped up on my little alert, email messages this morning. I don't know why it's so significant. But, yeah, today is National Hamburger Day. Now, we're not talking about what I would call your secondary hamburger spots or your boutique hamburger spots. We're talking about fast food hamburgers, okay? It has to have a drive-through. I think that's a great way to differentiate it between fast food and other places that make hamburgers. Now, there's a lot of great places that make hamburgers. Trust me, there's a ton of great ones in Atlanta. Like, I'm not talking about like Vortex or anything like that, restaurant. It has to have a drive-through. If it has a drive-through, then we'll consider it for our favorite hamburgers of all time. Not the place, but the specific burger is what we're going to have some fun with today, man. We do birthdays. We talk a lot of trash. We do all of this. We do all of that. We have a good time here on the Doug Stewart Show from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. All right, so we get back from the break. You see the title of today's show. We got to talk about Steph Curry's kid. I mean, she's out of control. I mean, she is absolutely out of control. Huh? What? Shut up. Shut up, you kids. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, I didn't tell you. Today we got these little kids here, this little summer camp, and they're doing like a little field trip here to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to tell you something, kids. Sit down and shut up back there. And the adults are here too. Shut up! Shut up! I'm trying to do a radio show here. I'm trying to do a radio show. Now listen, we're not going to have this, all right? We're not going to have this. We're not going to have this. We got to talk about Steph Curry's kid. The kid's out of freaking control. And I know, last week I gave a guy a Boiled Peanuts Award because of him having strife against kids. But this is different. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about Golden State making it to the NBA Finals. Who do you like in this year's NBA Finals? Man, a lot of fun today on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Shut up! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster, Doug, I see why you got kicked out. Dude, wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday. Shouts out to everybody in the chat room, getting your chat on. This segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. Shouts out to the great System 5 Electronics and the great Maceo Brown. Been in business for over 25 years. You can set up your security monitoring system for as low as $16.50 per month. Metro Atlanta all the way down to Macon, Georgia. All right, so that's System 5 Electronics. They got this promotion going on right now with the driveway probe. If you give them a call and let them know that the Doug Stewart Show sent you, you can get a free driveway probe with the purchase of a Smart Solutions package, which all that means is the smartphone, your iPhone, your whatever your smart device is. If someone drives into your yard, you'll be alerted. You get a picture, you get a video, something like that to your smart device. And System 5 Electronics has all these great new wave devices, gadgets. So they're up to date on everything. So check them out online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's the number 5. System5electronicsinc.com. But make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Now, you see the title of today's show. And the Golden State Warriors, they advanced. They beat the brakes off of the Rockets last night, 104-90. James Harden has a horrible game last night. What does he have? 13 turnovers. Breaks a record in NBA playoff record for turnovers. So they're out. They got some things to work on. But Golden State and Cleveland are now your two NBA Finals teams. They don't start the series until next week, Thursday. And right now, Golden State is the favorite. I think they're an overwhelming favorite in relative terms as far as percentage-wise to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we'll get into all of that, obviously, today, tomorrow, all the way up until next Thursday and throughout the series. But last night after the game, and you know how I am, man. I mean, I'm real. I mean, I'm absolutely real. This is why you listen to this show instead of the Puppet Factory and some of the other things they got going on. I'm real. And so last week, I gave little Riley Curry a lot of love because this guy, Brian Windhorst from the Puppet Factory, sent out these tweets in effect saying that Steph Curry shouldn't bring his kid to the post-game press conference. He was being like a freaking Scrooge, like a miser. And I don't think in any way you could go against kids in anything. You just look bad. You just shouldn't do it. So he basically went on record, and there was this big conversation. We even had the conversation on our show, and I was like, I didn't have a problem with it at all. I didn't have a problem with it at all. I mean, it's cool. You know, you always get on these guys for not being good role models, and he's out there sharing a moment with his kid. I thought it was a beautiful thing. But then last night, Steph brings out this kid again, and this kid is off the chain. I mean, all over the place, screaming, grabbing the microphone, walking down the aisle, under the table. At some point, somebody came and got the kid. Some white guy just came and got the kid. Like, we got to come get this kid, man. It might have been social services. I don't even know who it was. Just a dude came from the shadows and got this kid and walked away. You remember the term running out? And I think we used to actually, break it down. We say, so-and-so, you running out. And for people that hadn't heard that term, running out means, in effect, doing something that's cool at first, but then you keep doing it, and it's not cool anymore. And thus, you have little Riley Cooper. Shut up, kids! Shut up! All right? These kids in the studio. So, yeah, I mean, it was all cute last week, but last night, you just running out now, Steph. I know. I agree. I agree. And Brian Windhorst won a BP award last week, and having this kid in there, and he goes off on the kid. A week later, I know I might sound hypocritical, but they can't do this anymore. They're going to have to stop this. And I think it was almost like Steph. I think it was almost like Steph was just rubbing it in the nose of those haters, those guys like Brian Windhorst and those media guys and their whole stance last week. I think this whole thing was just like him rubbing it in their nose. Okay, he brought it out again. And when he even brought it out last night, he was smiling. He was cheesing. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get them. I'm going to show them. And so it was cute the first time, but last night, you're running out now, bruh. You running out. And I'm sure that the NBA is going to enact some type of rule against this going forward because of Steph Curry. They're going to call it the Steph Curry rule. They are going to call it the Steph Curry rule. And listen. I love kids. I love the children, obviously. But it's a simple matter. And Steph Curry, and especially that kid Riley, were running out. Shut up! Listen, man. Listen. And Tree, jump on the microphone here. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Jump on the microphone here. I mean, listen, we got to figure out something. We agreed to have these kids down here today for this little, summer outing or field trip or whatever.
Doug Stewart Show camp.
Right. Yeah, let's call it that. And these kids are booing me in the background because I'm talking about their compadre, Riley. Hey, come on, we got to do something about this. I need you to put a little, kibosh on these kids back there in the studio, all right?
So you're suggesting I Adrian Peterson their asses?
Not quite. We don't want to do that.
Make it clear for they be coming down on you.
We don't want to do that. Now, Tree, so today we're talking about your favorite hamburgers of all time. And one hamburger in particular, I'll give you a couple of mine throughout today's show. I'm not putting an order on it because of political and sponsorship reasons I mentioned earlier. But I absolutely love the Checkers Champ with Cheeseburger. I mean, a fantastic burger. What about you? I mean, give me a burger you like, Tree.
Okay, well, you know that I'm real funny I'm conspiracy theory person.
Ninjas.
Yeah, so I would have to say, I'm not going to say a fast food chain because I just try. I don't think I've had McDonald's in 7 years.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Back up. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So you just totally don't do fast food, period.
Chick-fil-A.
You're what they call health conscious.
I let the kids go to Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's because I can see that it's really meat and things like that. Now, I caught Kayla eating a Big Mac about 3 weeks ago.
What do you mean you caught her? Did you whoop her? What do you mean you caught her?
They know that we don't get down like that, but I can't
Wait a minute. What do you mean we don't get down like that? Is it you don't get down like that so your kids can't get down like that? So if your kids came to you and says, Mama, I want a Big Mac or I want a whatever burger, fast food burger, you got a problem with it. You tell them no.
I'm not going to pay for it. I won't buy it. But my burger right now that I enjoy is Red Robin. Those burgers are everything. They don't have any around here.
Yeah, there's one in my area, real good. Kind of like Steak and Shake type burgers or whatever. Do they have a drive-through window though?
Oh, so it has to be. Yeah. So yeah, you're not gonna get me. No. And the fact that you said Checkers, like, have you ever? I'm not gonna do it. No.
You're not gonna do what?
I don't want to hinder us from moving forward in the great land of sponsorship. But yeah, I do chicken.
Man, Checkers at 4:00 in the morning when you just leaving the club is fantastic.
I'm good.
Them fries, Checkers might be like the first one that had those unique fries that didn't look like everybody else's fries. I love me some Checkers late in the morning, man. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Listen to Tree All Health Conscious or whatever. This is the Doug Stewart Show, man. What are your thoughts about the NBA Finals? What are your thoughts about last night's game? Klay Thompson gets kneed in the head by Trevor Ariza. Now, I'm going to say this, too. And he, showed concussion signs last night as well. He's under the NBA's concussion protocol, but he should be fine. He's got a week to recover or whatever. He's going to be good. And I talked about Dirty Dellavedova and how I hate guys like that, and you wouldn't do that type of thing on the playground. Trevor Ariza now, this is becoming a habit, okay? And the thing about Trevor Ariza and what he's done in the last couple of games and undercutting, see, you can't even call it undercutting what he did to Steph Curry because it really doesn't fall under the guidelines of a guy undercutting another player in basketball. He stopped. It was almost like he made a pump fake, and he stopped, and Steph kind of took for granted that he was going to go up with the basketball. He tried to block the shot, and so he undercut him. So, okay, he gets away with that. I don't think I even heard anybody even mention that in the world of sports, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Then last night, all right, Klay Thompson's taking a jump shot, and he pump fakes, and he catches Trevor Ariza in the air, and Ariza flies by him, but if you watch the replay, the slow motion, Ariza kind of throws his knee forward when he didn't even have to, and it catches Klay Thompson in the side of the head. And I mean, that might have even been more dangerous than what happened to Steph Curry. So I love Trevor Ariza. Don't get me wrong. I love Trevor Ariza. I'm a Laker fan. He actually helped us win a couple of championships. I love Trevor Ariza. I actually hated when we got rid of Trevor Ariza. And I think we got rid of Trevor Ariza and we brought in Ron Artest, which wasn't bad. Ron Artest helped us win some rings as well. But I was really mad when they let Trevor Ariza go. So I don't want to call him dirty. And I don't think you can really constitute these two things as dirty, but it's very, very suspect. Let me put it like that. He doesn't go in the Matthew Dellavedova category, but he's in the family. With these last two moves that he's pulled over the last couple of nights. What are your thoughts on that? Who do you like in the NBA Finals? Is it a wrap? Should they just go ahead and give Golden State the ring right now? Or a lot of people feel like that LeBron James can win an NBA championship all by himself, much less have a couple of good players on his team. What are your thoughts on that? When we get back from the break, man, I'm going to read some chat. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to read chat and get your thoughts on what we talked about already. And the Bulls, man, they playing the nut roll. You remember in Good Times when, who was it? Popo, JJ's boys. Or no, it wasn't JJ's boys. It was Mad Dog when they tried to get JJ to come and fight with them, the Satan Knights and the Junior Warlords, and JJ tried to make an excuse. And they said, man, JJ, you playing the nut roll. That's what the Chicago Bulls are doing with Tom Thibodeau. We'll talk about that. I'll read some of your chat. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice, frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area, all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's System5electronicsinc.com. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. I need you to tell one person about the Doug Stewart Show, a.k.a. TDSS. Tell one person, man. Follow the show on Spreaker.com. Also, download the Doug Stewart Show app on your phone. Very easy, man. And you will hear any and every episode that we've done over the last 8 months here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. This segment is brought to you by National Debt Relief. They're one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements with thousands of creditors and collections accounts. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, an alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. So give them a call at 844-828-4975. That's 844-828-4975 before you make the rash decision to file bankruptcy, all right? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Today we're talking about hamburgers. Today is National Hamburger Day, and I'm not going to give you a specific order for political and business reasons, but I already mentioned the Checkers Champ with cheese, which is just fantastic at 4 o'clock in the morning. How about the Quarter Pounder with cheese, man? Fantastic. Very simple. The Quarter Pounder is very simple in the fact that they don't have all that lettuce and tomato and crap on there or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that Quarter Pounder with cheese is just unique. I mean, there's not a lot of burgers set up like that, and I remember how to make all of these burgers from back in the day, my first job at McDonald's, as I mentioned earlier. So how about the Quarter Pounder with cheese? Fantastic, fantastic fast food burger. Happy birthday to Michael Orr, 29, offensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers, drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. Remember, they actually did a book on him and his upbringing. Percy Harvin, another NFL player, is 27 years old today. Navarro Bowman, this must be National Football Player Birthday Day. Navarro Bowman, 27 years old, linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. And also today, celebrating her 71st birthday, man, is the great Gladys Knight. Happy birthday, Gladys. On that midnight train to Georgia. Damn, I wish I knew more words to that song. I would kill it for y'all. But Gladys Knight is 71 years old. Happy birthday to her. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show, talking some NBA playoffs. Who do you like in the finals? Cavs and the Warriors. One of my homeboys, shouts out to my homeboy Derek Vanish. He posted something on my Facebook page this morning, in effect saying that he doesn't want any excuses. LeBron James is one of the greatest players ever, so we say he should win this year's championship. I hear what he's saying, and trust me, a couple of years ago I would have said that because of my disdain for LeBron James, but I've come full circle once again. I don't know, man. It's possible. This is almost like a coin toss to me, because on one side you got clearly the better team and the hottest team and the team that won the most games this year in the NBA, and probably pound for pound more talent in the Golden State Warriors. But you do have the Cleveland Cavaliers, who do have some players that aren't too shabby themselves, and J.R. Smith, and Mon Shumpert, and some of those guys, Timothy Mozgov. But then you've got the X factor in LeBron James. So I think slightly Golden State should be favored, but not as much as what Vegas is saying they're favored by right now. They're like a 3-1 odds to win this year's NBA championship. I don't think it's that far or that much of a difference. I don't think it's that big of a gap between who should win this series or not. They got LeBron, man. They got LeBron, and he's going to be focused. And I think that when you talk about who has the most to play for, or if they don't win, who has the most to lose, it's probably LeBron, because it seems like he's on this race to try to catch up or pass Michael Jordan as far as greatness, and that constitutes, winning rings as well. It's fine. We talked about this yesterday. It's fine for him to win a lot of games and go to a lot of championships, but he got to get some rings. There's just no other way around it. As far as the conversation of all-time greatest players in the NBA, it's not the end-all. Once again, like I said yesterday, we were talking more about the player. I think LeBron is very questionable. It's a great discussion on who's a better player, overall better player for the career, LeBron or Michael Jordan. I still go with Jordan, but it's a discussion. As far as the kit and caboodle and, more people say that he's better or he had a better career, he's got to win more rings. And I think he's almost got to win like at least 4. He's got to win 4 just to be in the conversation and talking about Michael Jordan as far as greatest career / greatest player. So what are your thoughts on that? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Let me read some of this chat here. Thank you so much for the chat. Shouts out to everybody in the chat room. From Clay Davis's advisor. What about them Checker burgers? You heard me, sir. All right, put Checkers on the list. I mentioned Checkers first, and then I mentioned the quarter pounder with cheese. Yes, but 4 o'clock in the morning, that Checker burgers is on point. From Nino the Rhino, Checkers meat tastes like soybeans. And just stop with the conspiracy ninja stuff. These people are not going to feed us no soybean burgers or no something that's not beef. They're just not going to do that.
Okay.
They're just not going to do that.
These people not going to do that. Why wouldn't they?
McDonald's actually even came out with these small little video vignettes about 6 months ago where they actually took this reporter into their factories and actually showed them the meat being processed and showed them cutting up the actual potatoes for the French fries. Come on, man.
And they showed that man landing on the moon, too. Boom. Move around.
Oh, man, y'all crazy. Let me, L-E-T-T me. Shouts out to you, Let Me. You look like a new person in the chat room. He says, Wendy's Triple Burger. Quick little stories about Wendy's Triple Burger. So we had this thing, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We had this thing growing up where every time we had a birthday, our pops would take us to Wendy's. Now, Wendy's, we didn't have a Wendy's in my hometown. I grew up in a little small town, but my hometown is like 30 minutes from, or actually like 15, 20 minutes from North Charleston. So in North Charleston, they had a Wendy's. And so it was kind of like out of the ordinary, special occasions, he'd take us to Wendy's. And so every year that we got older, he would take us to Wendy's. He'd be like, all right, you another year older right now. You think you're ready for, a Wendy's single? And we'd be like, yeah, let's try it. So you ate an actual grown person's hamburger. That was cool. Then a couple of years would pass, and he'd take us back, and he'd say, well, you bigger now. You're a big boy now. Do you want to try that double? He's like, damn, yeah, let's do it. And we stuff our face and try to eat a double from Wendy's. And then finally, when I got like 10 or 11 years, he's like, look here, man, are you ready to try to eat a triple? And I looked at my old man. I said, damn it, Daddy, let's try a triple. Tree, yes, what?
You reminded me that, yes, when I was a child, Wendy's was like for special.
Yes.
When they were not everywhere on every corner.
Right.
It was just a few. I think it was one on Puritan. And it was like a big deal because I think it was more expensive.
It was more expensive. Then they had the unique shaped hamburgers that were square. And you're right. They weren't everywhere. They weren't widespread like McDonald's were on every corner or Burger King even to a degree. Wendy's was like, the cool thing. It was like the hip thing. It was like Pepsi to Coke. So it was real cool. But, yeah, my old man, every year we used to go back for our birthday, and he used to up the ante. You want to try a single? We were eating kids' meals at one point. Then we went from kids' meals to singles, then singles to doubles, and then finally the coup de grace, the big boy, a triple. Do they still even sell a triple? Is that still on the menu? I go to Wendy's, but I don't even pay attention. I don't even know that I've even seen that. And they don't really even advertise it. It's almost like you just got to go into Wendy's and see it to order it. But they never, ever advertised that triple at Wendy's. But, yeah, that was big. That was big stuff. From Gary Joyner, I like Riley Curry. Who cares what the fat tub of Lord Windhorse thinks? Failpay, living in the South, I had no idea what we were missing with that damn White Castle. White Castle's ish on Crystals. I totally disagree. Get it right, studio audience. I said I disagree. To me, there's no difference in White Castles and Crystals. They're almost damn near the same thing.
You're crazy.
Just like different marketing. There's no difference. And for people that don't even know what White Castle is, White Castles is, in effect, the Crystals of New York, of up north.
White Castles has onions on it. It's steamed.
Crystals has onions on it.
It's different. It completely tastes different.
I don't know. I don't think there's that much of a difference. But anyway, in the South, we got Crystals. And up north, they got, and I guess in the Midwest, they've got White Castle. And so I've been there. I wasn't impressed. I don't know. All right, we get back from the break, man. We're going to talk quickly about Tom Thibodeau and what's going on with him in Chicago. And we'll read more of your chat. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! No puppetry going on around here. This is the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com or just hit me in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Have you created your DraftKings account? If you haven't, man, make sure you do that. Go to DraftKings.com. Use the promo code STU, and anything you deposit up to $600, me and DraftKings will double it. So if you put in $600, you'll be playing with $1,200. That's DraftKings.com. Use the promo code STU. And this segment is also brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best the world of entertainment, culture, and sports has to offer. Grab a pencil. I'm going to give you the number. Just go ahead and grab a pencil, man. The number to get tickets to anything in the world, I mean, all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, is 855-638-3034. That's 855-638-3034. Make sure you patronize our sponsors, man. That's very important. So if you need tickets, holler at my folks at Ticket Liquidator, 855-638-3034. So today we're talking about the top or my favorite hamburgers, and I'm reading your chat, getting your thoughts on that as well. We're talking fast food burgers. Today is National Hamburger Day, having a little fun with that. Obviously talking about these sports. Have you heard what's going on with Tom Thibodeau and the Chicago Bulls? Now, the Bulls still owe him like $9 million. And it's common knowledge that they want to fire him. They just want to go in a different direction. Not that he's not done a good job, a fantastic job, actually. Some people would even question why they want to fire the dude. But they want to go in a different direction. But they don't want to fire him because they owe him $9 million. Now, word on the street also is that he can get several jobs, or he's being mentioned for several jobs. The job in Orlando, as well as the job now in New Orleans with the Pelicans. And so if he were to hit the open market, he'd get one of those jobs. And in effect, what Chicago owes them would be lessened because they would pay part of their contract in some type of negotiation. But Chicago doesn't want to fire the guy. And it's almost like they're kind of holding him hostage, kind of like another guy who we're going to talk about a little bit later is being held hostage, and Adrian Peterson. But it's almost like they're playing a game of chicken where they might even actually have to fire him just to move on and get a different coach. And they're still going to have to pay him, and he's going to get another job with another team and make even more money. So I don't know what they're trying to do. It seems kind of petty. You don't want the guy. It's not that the guy didn't do a great job. It's not that the guy wanted to leave or whatever. It almost seems childish what the Chicago Bulls are doing. Now, you know they've always had management issues, even going back to Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan with that organization and how they spend their money and who they give contracts to and telling guys, go ahead, you can search out another deal or whatever. So that's nothing new, but just very interesting, man. And I don't know if I'm even that excited to talk about Tom Thibodeau coaching my team. I've also heard some conversation, and I'm sure you've read, about Scott Skiles is a hot name. How the hell did Scott Skiles become a hot name all of a sudden? Like, how does this thing happen? Is it as simple as your agent makes a couple of calls and then other teams hear about it and they connect the dots? I don't get that. Scott Skiles ain't nobody to be overly excited about. He's coached in many, many places in the NBA. I mean, Scott Skiles is a decent coach, but I never thought Scott Skiles was Red Auerbach or nothing like that, or Phil Jackson. So it's very interesting to me how these guys, both of these guys, Thibodeau and Scott Skiles, are the hot names right now for coaching vacancies in the NBA. Very strange. I would not get excited as a fan base at all if you told me Scott Skiles or Tom Thibodeau would be my coach. Now, I guess there's something to be said about consistency and the fact that these guys have done it before and their resume is a lot. I mean, Scott Skiles was a solid player when he played in the NBA. You know, he played for the Orlando Magic. I remember yesterday I was trying to remember if he coached them or he played for them. He played for the Orlando Magic when he was a young player in the league coming out of Michigan State. But, you know, I don't understand the enthusiasm and the hype about those two guys in particular. They're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're great either. They're just like, I mean, why wouldn't you try somebody new? I mean, there's a lot of these coaches out there that have been assistants forever. And they also talking about Gentry as well getting another opportunity. How many damn teams does he coach? He's coached like 30 damn teams himself. And I think he's an assistant out there in Golden State, obviously under Steve Kerr. So he's doing okay, but I don't know. It seems to me if I was a fan base, I'd be more excited. And I guess it is at the end of the day all about winning games. So you want somebody that you know can get the job done. But I'd be excited. I don't think that these guys know everything about basketball. I don't think that's that unique. That you're that much of a commodity. I just don't like the whole, retread coach thing. I definitely don't like that. Scott Skiles probably coached 3-4 different places in the NBA. I know he coached in Milwaukee. I think he coached in Phoenix. He's coached a couple places, man. And now Tom Thibodeau, he's on a gaggle of money already, and he's about to get paid again. He's about to get paid for doing nothing from Chicago. Real crazy stuff. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talking about top hamburgers, my favorite hamburgers of all time. Today is National Hamburger Day. From Gerald, Fuddruckers goes hard too. Fuddruckers definitely goes hard. Shouts out to the great Fuddruckers. But they aren't technically a fast food place. No drive-through. So I'm not really talking about their particular burger, and I don't think they had a cute name for their Fuddruckers burger. Where I used to live in Marietta, Georgia. Marietta has a Fuddruckers right off of, Windy Hill. If you're familiar with Metro Atlanta, you will know what I'm talking about. So they had a Fuddruckers, and I used to work over there as well. And so I remember we used to go there for lunch, and Fuddruckers got it going on. They let you actually add your own toppings or whatever. They probably were the first ones I can remember doing that, where they were a step above fast food, but they specialized in burgers, and they also let you put, your toppings on it or whatever. Bobby's Cheeseburgers does that now here in Metro Atlanta. A lot of people have heard about that. But Fuddruckers was like the original ones doing that. From Fatboy McCoon, Hardee's got some good burgers too. Oh, yeah. Much love and respect to Hardee's. Much love and respect to Hardee's. And they call it Carl's Jr. on the West Coast. Some type of licensing agreement or whatever. I don't know. But before we got a McDonald's in my hometown, all we had was Hardee's. All right? We used to go hang out in the Hardee's parking lot. The grown kids would go hang out at the Hardee's parking lot on Friday night after the game. And then we got a McDonald's in my town. And then when I was in high school, as I mentioned earlier, I used to be cooking there. But after sporting events, whatever, and this probably happens in every little small town in USA, you go hang out in the local fast food restaurant in the parking lot and loiter. Yeah, and just loiter. From Cedric Galloway, In-N-Out Burger. Not impressed. And I know that's blasphemy for people on the West Coast. I've had it before. I've only been to L.A. or to California probably like 3 or 4 times in my life. But I've had it, and everybody raves about it. But it's okay. It ain't nothing to write home to mama about, I thought. But out in the West Coast, that's all they talk about. They also talk about Fat Burger out there big time. And they had a Fat Burger. If you're from Metro Atlanta, you remember they had a Fat Burger in Marietta. I think they actually had a couple of them sprinkled throughout town, but I don't see them anymore. They actually had one at, what's that area in Buckhead? Is it Lyndhurst? It's near Buckhead, but they had a Fat Burgers there as well. Love Fat Burgers. Lindbergh. That's right. It's Lindbergh.
It's Smash Burger now.
So Fat Burger's gone. Fat Burger's gone.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Over there in Lindbergh, they had a Fat Burgers as well. Love Fat Burger. Absolutely love Fat Burger. And you remember when you were growing up in all the little hood movies, you saw this place. They always talked about going to get a Fat Burger on Boys in the Hood and Minister Society. That's a West Coast thing. And they started franchising out here in Atlanta. It's been many years, probably about 10 years ago, but I don't really see them anymore. And as Tree just mentioned, the producer to the Doug Stewart Show, that the Fat Burger in Lindbergh is now gone. From Vince Wright, Culver's Butterburger up north here. Never even heard of that. Whataburger from Texas Tie. Shouts out to you, Texas Tie. So, Whataburger is fantastic as well. There aren't here any in South Carolina or Georgia that I've seen, but I used to live in Pensacola, Florida. My first job out of college, I worked at Foot Action USA, and I was the manager, and I had my own store. They promoted me to manager of my own store in Pensacola, Florida. And so in Pensacola, they had Whataburgers all over the place. Fantastic. Yes, sir. Yes. And so I don't know where their territories are, per se, but I know they're in Florida deep, okay? And I moved down there, and one of the bros I used to kick it was like, man, let's go to Whataburger. I kept seeing them, but I never stopped. And I went in there for the first time, man. Whataburger got it going on. They got it going on. Shouts out to the great Whataburger. Yeah, so we'll read more of your chat when we get back from the break. Russia, the Soviet Union, or is that two different places? It's like one and the same to me. Russia, in effect, calling America some haters. We'll talk about that when we get back from the break. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes!
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is hour number 2. Throwback Thursday. Favorite fast food hamburgers. Today is National Hamburger Day. I mean, what would it take for us to be National Doug Stewart Day? I mean, how do we make that happen? Like, who do we write? Who do we petition so we can have a National TDSS Day? I mean, why not? Hell, they're giving a National Day to hamburgers. I mean, we're just as significant around here as hamburgers. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com, but I'm reading a lot of your chat on Spreaker.com, so make sure you follow the show, and then chat with us, the Stewies, in the chat room. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at The Doug Stewart Show, and retweet today's lucky tweet. It's already up there. I do it every single day during the week. Lucky numbers and your fortune, kind of like a fortune cookie type thing on Twitter. And so make sure you follow me at The Doug Stewart Show, or Doug2 Live Stews as well. 404-382-0338. So yesterday, I didn't even mention all of this scandal going on with corruption in FIFA with the World Cup. But last night, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the United States is meddling in FIFA's affairs in an attempt to take the 2018 World Cup away from his country. Putin said in a televised comments Thursday that it's odd that the probe was launched at the request of U.S. officials for crimes which do not involve its citizens. It did not happen in the United States. Now, let me just say this. I mean, this is what we do is we meddle in other countries' affairs. I mean, you know that. I mean, America, and I love America, and I'm not, the most patriotic person in the world, but this is what we do, is we meddle in foreign affairs. And now, the fact that this is a sporting event, I don't know, it does seem kind of odd. I get what he's saying. In effect, what he's saying is we hating, and stop hating, America. This is the way we do business. If you don't know the backstory on it, I'm not going to get into all of it because it's very convoluted. And the reason I didn't even talk about it yesterday when the story kind of broke is because it's soccer. And you know how we feel about soccer. We really don't feel any way at all about it, so I didn't really even bring it up. I know that my audience really doesn't pay attention to soccer to that level. But in effect, what they're talking about is corruption, bribes, kickbacks, and obtaining these World Cups, which is a big thing worldwide. Okay, the rest of the world loves soccer. Soccer is the biggest spectator sport in the world by far in comparison to the sports that we love in football, American football, baseball, and basketball. Soccer is number one, okay? So it's big everywhere else, but not really that big here. 2 of the 14 people charged by the U.S. prosecutor's office, prosecutors have U.S. citizenship. So I guess that's part of the reason why America is kind of pushing this narrative. The U.S. Department of Justice indicted 14 people for alleged bribes totaling more than $150 million. Said they've been paid for television rights, sponsorship deals, everything, the whole thing for this World Cup, man. Very interesting. And it's always funny to me, and I'm 45 years old, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Whenever I hear about Russia or the Soviet Union or whatever, like internally I start to cringe a little bit because if you grew up in the 70s like I did, like Russia was kind of like the boogeyman. Like, yeah. For some reason, when I was growing up, and I guess it was because of the whole Cold War thing and the internal or the external strife between America and the U.S., and that Cold War thing, which exactly what it means, totally, I don't know. I know it's something dealing with the fact of after world wars and the small conflicts. I guess it's the small conflicts between the USSR and America back and forth. They called it the Cold War. We never actually had a big war with Russia. It was kind of like we had a war, but they were small wars, but they weren't big wars, so they called it the Cold War in a nutshell. But I always, as a kid, it was kind of this sentiment out there that Russia at any moment might like blow us off the map. Right. And it's not like that anymore, and it's the Cold War in effect is over. But whenever I hear Russia talking about the U.S. and we having back and forth discussions and we did this wrong or that wrong, it always harkens me back to when I was a kid. And like at any moment as a kid, you thought that Russia was going to blow us off the map, that we were going to go to war with Russia, and it was a bad thing. So very interesting stuff and talking about them calling us haters. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Melvin. What's up, Stu Nation? My first real job was Winn-Dixie at the corner of MLK and Lyndhurst and the Swats. Laugh out loud. I was only 15. A good bacon cheeseburger is what I like. My second job, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, my second job after I left McDonald's for more prestige and bigger tips was at our local family-owned grocery store. And if you're from Moncks Corner, you remember the name of the store, and you grew up during the era that I did. It was called Mott's Foodland, and the owner was a guy named, I don't remember his first name, but his last name was Mott, and he owned this store, this little grocery store, for like 30 or 40 years. Maybe his daddy even owned it or whatever back during the 1800s or whatever. And so I was, I bagged groceries. And, man, bagging groceries made a lot of good cheese back in 1984. I mean, a lot of good cheese, man. That's when people used to tip. They don't really tip anymore, and kids don't really even take groceries to people's cars. It's almost like, Tree, jump on for a second, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show.
Yes.
When you go grocery shopping, and I don't do it, so that's why I'm asking. My wife does it. When you go grocery shopping, is there like a kid that takes your groceries to the car, or do you do it yourself?
Well, Kayla works at Publix.
Okay.
And they're not allowed, you see my quotes, to get tips.
What?
But they're not supposed to.
Wow. Is that some type of federal law? When did that happen?
I mean, people do it, but they're not allowed.
Right,
they're
I
not
hear what you're saying.
supposed to.
Yeah.
But
I almost think, I kind of remember like our pay was tips. Like maybe we got something below minimum wage, and I don't remember. I mean, hell, this is 30 years ago. I don't remember us getting like a full minimum wage, which is only like $3.25 at that time. But I remember the tips was the thing. Like that was a coveted job to get as a teenager, to work at a grocery store, because you was going to rack up the money on tips.
Yeah, no. First of all, nobody is tipping, because even when she does get them, it's far and few between. But she makes, I think, $9 now, because she's been there since she was 14. But at Publix, they do offer to take your bags out. In fact, they have to, and they get evaluated on that. But the Kroger, they don't do that.
Wow.
You have to ask. And what other stores are there anymore?
Yeah,
Walmart ain't taking no bags nowhere.
Right. Nah, they never took bags to the cars. Yeah, that was a big thing when I was growing up, is the tips. And people, it wasn't a situation where you had people that didn't tip. Everybody tipped. They might give you $1. I guess that was kind of customary from what I remember back then. You get $1, but then every once in a while you get like $2, $3, and then on a good day, a dude might give you $5 for unloading his bags in his car. So that was a great thing. From Stagger Lee, Grandmama House had a drive-through. Say anything out of line and your ass can leave the opposite was your ass walked in. That's funny. My grandmother sold things out of the back door too, so I know. My grandmother was the candy lady. So I know about grandmama selling stuff to make ends meet. 9-0 the Rhino, little girl need an ass whipping. And talking about Riley Cooper, she don't need an ass whooping. And once again, it was cute. I talked about this in the first segment. It was cute when it happened the last time, but now you're running out now. You can't bring the kid out there no more, Steph. You just can't. Go ahead, Tree. You
realize, and I don't know, because he's probably not thinking like this, but her mama might be. That little girl is going to be on somebody's TV show, someone's commercial. Right. She is about to get paid.
Right. I'm almost thinking that this whole thing was commandeered. Clearly, the first time, the little kid was off the chain, but that's fine. Once again, I argued that why should we be mad, and this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But clearly last night, for him to bring her back out there, Steph Curry bringing his daughter Riley back out there again, there's some type of end game to this. They're trying to get some type of reality show or something for the kid or whatever. There's something going on behind scenes.
Did you notice at the end of the game, they just repeatedly they showed that family repeatedly.
Yeah.
The sister, the mother, the daddy, inundated us with it. There is something brewing.
Well,
coins will be made, and I applaud them.
I can easily see somebody wanting to give the Curry family their own reality show, kind of like run from Russell Simmons or whatever. Run from Run DMC. Because they got a good little interesting story and storylines. The kid is Steph Curry, the MVP. The dad played in the NBA. The mama's fine as white wine. The kid is off the chain. The grandkids. It's a nice little story. So, yeah, I get it. I get it. And she's only like 2 years old. Like, she's really, really small. Like, Riley Cooper's messing it up for all the other little kids that want to come out with their daddy to the press conferences. Seriously. She's too damn young. She has no filter at all. She's a baby. And I would guess she's 2 years old. So it was cute first, but now they just running out. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. I know Brian Windhorse is biting his tongue right now to go off on what happened last night. Wow. Hey, when we get back, man, Adrian Peterson. This thing might get kind of ugly in Minnesota. What you got to say, Big Smooth? We'll talk about that. I'll read more of your chat, and we'll also talk more about burgers. National Burger Day. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's System5electronicsinc.com. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. And talking about the NBA. Steph Curry. Russia going to blow us off the map. Hopefully not. And also, National Hamburger Day. One of my favorite topics. One of my favorite topics, man. So I'm giving you my favorite hamburgers in no particular order. Not like traditional top 5 like I do around here daily. So I've already mentioned the Checkers Champ with cheese. That's real good in the morning, early in the morning after you're leaving the club or the bar. Quarter pounder with cheese, fantastic mix of onions, cheese, pickles, fantastic mesh on that quarter pounder with cheese. Then I had the Wendy's single. Or did I even mention Wendy's single? No, there it is. The Wendy's single comes in on my list of favorite hamburgers of all times. Had a lot of conversation about that earlier. Wendy's was like a special thing. You know, Wendy's clearly is the third biggest burger franchise in this country behind McDonald's and Burger King. Clearly. That's the order. And so when Wendy's came along, they were unique. They were kind of different. They had the square burgers. Their burgers were more so kind of like something that your mama would cook, your grandmother would cook. They seem more like real meat. Tree, jump on for a second. They seem more like real meat than McDonald's and Burger King. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that McDonald's and Burger King wasn't real beef, but Wendy's, they always promoted the fact that their patties were fresh, not frozen. You remember that?
Yeah.
And that they, because McDonald's and Burger King's patties are like, they're like hard as rock. I know. I cooked them for a couple of years.
They are frozen now, though.
You think Wendy's is frozen now too?
I believe so.
Yeah. But yeah, so Wendy's was kind of unique, but they were the third wheel. And that single was the closest thing to like a backyard burger you could get when they first hit the scene. Love me some Wendy's. Love the Wendy's single with cheese. Yeah. No particular order, but Checkers, quarter pounder with cheese, the Checkers champ, quarter pounder with cheese, and Wendy's single. I'll tell you a couple of more before I leave here today. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougshoreshow.com. Mike Zimmer, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, has said, quote, he's, talking about Adrian Peterson, not going to play for anybody else, Zimmer said. This thing is going to get ugly. Adrian Peterson, if you don't know the story, he has kind of floated out there through his agent that he'd like to be traded. He doesn't feel like the Minnesota Vikings supported him throughout his domestic violence case with his kid. So he feels some type of way about that. So he wants to go elsewhere. Here's the problem. He makes $1 gazillion. I think I read somewhere this morning that he makes like $750,000 a week during the season. That's a lot of money. And so I kind of almost see this situation about to happen unfolding in front of our eyes, kind of like Barry Sanders. When Barry Sanders, kind of intimated in some things that he said that he wanted to play for another team. He wanted to go to a different team that had a better opportunity to win a Super Bowl. But he never really actually said it, but he said it. And the Lions' stance was, you're not going to play for anybody else. So if you don't play for us, then you might as well retire. And Barry Sanders retired. Now, I don't think Adrian Peterson is that type of dude where he could just walk away from that type of money that he's making for the next couple of years. But this thing's going to get ugly because he's missed a couple of OTAs, which are like off-season camps for the players. And he's made it clear that he does not want to play for the Minnesota Vikings again. And the Vikings feel like that we have to have you. We're not going to trade you. There's not enough trade value out there, you being 30 years old. So we're not going to do it. If you don't want to play football, then damn it, retire. In effect, that's the ultimatum. The ultimatum that they're giving to Adrian Peterson. This thing's going to get ugly. Here's something that I don't. If Adrian really wanted to be, it's the best way I could put this. I almost used the vernacular street term for it. If he wants to be a penis head, he could just loaf around and not play hard. I mean, seriously, what could they do? He could get paid, and I'm not saying he should do this, and I don't know if this is even morally or ethically right. I don't know, but this is business. He doesn't like his contract, even though he is under contract. What if he comes to camp and just goes through the motions? Instead of running, and giving 100% effort, what if he gives 75% effort and is really a distraction in the locker room? What would the Vikings do? The Vikings don't want to pay a guy that doesn't want to be there $750,000 a week, and that's not giving them full effort. I wonder if that's the next tactic that he takes with this whole dispute with the Minnesota Vikings. Because really, how can you you can't legislate or quantify if a guy is working hard or not. If a guy's loafing through the hole whenever he gets the ball, how can you determine that in legalities, whether he's giving you maximum effort? You can't really dictate that. You don't know exactly if a guy is giving you maximum effort or not. It's almost like a back injury. I'm not feeling well. My back is hurt. How do you dictate or how do you determine if a guy's back is hurt? You really can't. So whenever you're in these little disputes, these little lawsuits against insurance companies or whatever, the thing is my back hurts. You can't really quantify that. So we'll see what happens with this, man. Just a very interesting story because I really thought that they were going to move him. I mean, you don't want a bad apple in your bunch. You don't want Adrian Peterson sulking, walking around the locker room with his head down, mad, pissed off. You talk about screwing up team chemistry. What would you rather? Would you rather have Adrian Peterson around there mad as hell and giving you half effort? Or would you rather just trade the guy at 30 years old and get something for him that can help your team win games? I mean, don't cut off your damn nose, spite your face. As they used to say in the country. From Let Me, Burger King, Double Whopper. Ooh, that's a lot of meat on that Double Whopper. I never had a Double Whopper before. I actually love the Whopper. From the Kicking It with Kissy show, the Cookout has taken over the Southeast. I fell in love with them in the Carolinas. Then they invaded the ATL. The place stays packed. Yeah, Cookout is the bomb. They've actually got a Cookout restaurant, and it's kind of like a mix between fast food and that next level, like Five Guys, so Fuddruckers. It's kind of in between, but they do have a drive-through window, and it's like Backyard Burgers. There's also a place called Backyard Burgers, and it might be the same company. I don't know. But same concept as well. Talking about favorite burgers, today is National Burger Day. From Gary Joyner. I worked at Crystal's and Hardee's. I would come home greasy as hell. I had grease pimples on my face. Yeah, man, that grease is real. And working in a fast food restaurant, Boosa. Back in the day, it was a treat to go to Great Whopper to get the Great Whopper and the Juicy Wendy's burger. Late 70s. That's right. From Rel Scott, I was giving out that Jameis Winston hookup to all my peeps when I was at Burger King in 88 when they came out with them chicken sandwiches. I never actually was able to hook people up because I actually was on the grill. I never worked the cash register. I don't remember. But I had very good friends that worked the drive-thru, so if my boys came through the line, they'd be like, go holler at Stu. And then so the person in the drive-thru would come through and like, do you know so-and-so? I'd be like, yeah, go ahead and take care of them. And they'd give them some extra fries or whatnot. 9 the Rhino, Cookout Burgers are number one. Yeah, shouts out to Cookout Burgers. I've got a little honorable mention list of burger joints outside the realm of fast food that I'll give you a little bit later. Let's see, we got here. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Fat Boy McCoon, Jack in the Box is good. Never been to Jack in the Box. Know the brand. I think that might be a Midwest, northern thing as well. There aren't any Jack in the Boxes in the South. I can tell you that right now. I've never seen one in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. I've never seen a Jack in the Box in the South. From Montana Jones, I just watched that Mad Dog episode on Good Times and why James never combed his hair. I don't think James combed his hair. James, the dad on Good Times, I don't think he combed it. I think he brushed it. Which means you couldn't get through all of that. Okay, so he brushed it with like one of those Brillo pad brushes. That's the best he could do back in 73, 74. From Q, Haduchu, Jack in the Box, Gerald, the Hardee's $6 burger. Never had the Hardee's $6 burger. I rarely go to Hardee's. I got to be honest with you. I rarely go to Hardee's. There aren't that many of them around here that I see anymore. So I rarely go to Hardee's. I probably go to Hardee's maybe one time a year. From Mitchell, Fuddruckers, Five Guys, Miss Ann, Sonics. I like some Sonics too. Shouts out to Sonics. It has that little drive-up thing, that drive-in type setup they got going on there. On my part of town, they got the young ladies in the little skates, like it's Happy Days, Richie Cunningham or whatnot at Al's Diner. From Fail Pay, the Burger King in Tuskegee, Alabama once ran out of Whoppers. I told them they might as well close early. How the hell you run out of Whoppers at Burger King? Oh, man. I mean, let's keep it real. A lot of times in the hood, man, the management is just horrible. It's amazing. You go to one Burger King on one side of town, and it's just fantastic, or one burger joint in general on one side of town, but you go to the one in the hood, and they run out of ketchup. They run out of Whoppers. How the hell you run out of Whoppers? Oh, I hate that. You get attitude from the window. Yeah, I didn't tell you to work here. You chose to work here. Why you mad at me? Because I want extra ketchup. You go to Burger King in the hood, you ask for some extra ketchup, that's all you hear. Okay, hold on. You chose to work here, not me. Damn the attitude. Don't go away, the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. Favorite burgers of all time. And talking about that today. And also all of these little sports stories, man. In life, things happen good or bad, and being prepared is always important. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place, so that's why I started to work with my good friends at Prime America. They've got this great program and these great programs for life insurance. And Prime America is the only company that guarantees that your children are true legacies. And what that means is when they turn 25, they will have $500,000 in coverage automatically without a physical. And that also means that, you know, you take care of your kids. You know, you establish a legacy. So listen to this. Give my guy a call. A good friend of mine actually lives here in the metro Atlanta area. He can do deals in any state of the country. And let him show you what Prime America can do for you and your insurance needs. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with my guy, Greg Wynn, give him a call at 678-439-7172. All right, that's 678-439-7172. Prime America's been around for over 40 years, or just at about 40 years, man. Well-known company. So give my guy, Greg Wynn, a call at 678-439-7172. Talking about top hamburgers. my favorite hamburgers. I had Checkers Champ with cheeseburger. It's pretty good. Quarter pounder with cheese. Wendy's single. Coming in high on my list as well is the Whopper with cheese. And oh boy, you talk about the branding for that Whopper with cheese. Flame broiled. And that was kind of unique, because everybody else throws theirs on a grill or whatever. But Whopper, their big thing was Burger King. Their big thing with the Whopper is this flame broiled. So yeah, it does taste kind of like you cooked it on a grill or whatever. So the Whopper is one of my favorite burgers of all time. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. I'm sure y'all heard about Ray McDonald. He's been arrested again, second time within 72 hours for violating a restraining order. Now, he claims that he was never given a restraining order and that he actually was going back to the residence of where his child's mother was to let them in, the police in, so that they could review and get evidence pending from the first time that he was arrested a couple of days ago. So it's very convoluted. I can't believe that this guy is that dumb to violate a restraining order with him just being arrested for the same thing a couple of days earlier. We got to see how this thing plays out. The Chicago Bears released him already. So I don't know. The bottom line is he claims his innocence and everything in dealing with domestic violence and even going back to when he was in San Francisco. I just know that you can't put yourself in these bad positions if you're a guy like Ray McDonald that's been under the microscope dealing with these types of issues over the last couple of years. So it's just strange to me. The guy just cannot get right. Also, the Atlanta Hawks' Kyle Korver did have surgery on his ankle. He's going to be out for at least 3 months, which is going to be very interesting because he is a free agent. Do the Hawks bring him back? He was a starter this year. I've seen a lot of people say on the chat line on Spreaker.com that Korver is not a starter. He's a great player, had a fantastic year shooting the ball, but he's really not a starter. Maybe you go after another two-guard. But he's going to play basketball again, but really unfortunate the fact that he got hurt. A lot of different issues with injuries with the Atlanta Hawks. I didn't even realize it until today. Shelvin Mack, who played a lot of minutes in that game 4 the other night against the Cavaliers, dislocated his shoulder in the fourth period the other night against the Cavaliers. So he's going to be on the shelf for a minute as well. So the Hawks got a lot of retooling to do coming into next year. Once again, a great season. I said it yesterday, but I can say it again. Congratulations to the Hawks on a great year. Very embarrassing the way it ended up, but we kind of saw that coming. Playing against Cleveland and LeBron James. They just ran into a buzzsaw. It's as simple as that in the Cleveland Cavaliers. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Let me read more of your chat here. Who do we got here? My man Fred Mack, in and out with grilled onions. That's the ish. Yeah, back in the day when I used to work at McDonald's, we used to grill the onions too on the little hamburgers. They don't do that anymore. They just put the cold-ass onions on there. They also, what we used to do at McDonald's back in the day as well, which I think we took more, quality was more of an issue back when I was growing up. Customer service was a bigger thing as well, seemingly. But we also toasted the buns. We toasted the Big Mac buns. We had a toasting machine for the buns, and we also toasted the buns for the quarter pounder with cheese. The quarter pounder with cheese and the Big Mac, we toasted their buns. And we toasted the buns for the little small hamburgers too, now that I think about it. Now they don't do that. They just put it on a cold-ass bun. I don't like that. I mean, I still eat it, but I don't like that. I liked it better back in the day. From Harvey Scott, come on, Doug. I don't believe Ariza did anything wrong. Thompson jumped into him trying to draw the foul. I disagree, man. Go back and look at the replay. Thompson did a pump fake, okay, and he was going to let Ariza fly by. But if you look at the replay, Ariza's right knee, he pulls it forward in the air. Go back and look at the slow motion clip of that, and Ariza clearly, purposely pulls his right knee up to hit dude in the side of the head. Maybe he was just trying to deter him from taking the shot or whatever and didn't intend to clip him in the temple, But he did. He did. From Niner for Life, I was mad when Ariza left too. I guess he's a Laker fan. Fred Mack, NBA cut Dwight Howard a lot of slack. That elbow to the neck of Iggy was crazy. Yes! Yes, and Dwight Howard did something else, or who did something else last night as well. There was something that happened I meant to talk about today. Maybe one of you will remind me about it. From Fat Boy McCoon. Ariza was intentional with the knee. I agree with you, Fat Boy. From Jungle Brother. White Castles in New York area uses real beef. Who says that anybody else, including Crystals, doesn't use real beef? I don't believe in that whole they don't use real beef stuff. Come on, man. You got to go. This stuff is regulated. You got food inspectors that come in and out. They're not going to let us eat something that's not beef.
Yeah, because they just care about us. That's why we drink fluoridated water.
Okay.
Because they just care.
Okay, conspiracy ninjas. From Montana Jones. Come on, Doug. You're reaching now with Ariza. Once again, I didn't call him out. I didn't say that what he was doing was dirty, but it's on the edge. Just borderline dirty. I mean, the couple of things that have happened, they're well within basketball plays, and I haven't heard anybody else, not that I care, I haven't heard anybody else call him out for being dirty for those two plays as well in the inadvertent undercutting of Steph Curry a couple of days ago, and then what happened last night with Klay Thompson kneeing the guy in the side of the damn head. I mean, that could kill a man. But it's damn near suspect. From Grego, Ariza watched said knee connect with Clay's head. Yeah, he did. Gary Joyner, Big Mac is processed crap. Red Robins ain't got nothing on Fuddruckers. I disagree with you, sir, on the Big Mac. From J. Rob, I see NBA TV taking advantage of this. People watch post-game interviews. I can see an NBA TV reality show of some sort after the post-game interviews. Me and Tree were talking about it during the break. And this whole thing with Steph Curry, clearly, and I mentioned it earlier, but a little bit more in depth, clearly I can see some network coming to give the Curry family a reality show. I mean, daddy played in the NBA. The son is the NBA MVP. The mama fine as hell. She played sports in college as well. She's a business owner. She started a charter school in North Carolina. The little kid's adorable. They've got a lot of great little storylines, you know, and they keep panning to them in the audience, in the stands, the family, the mama and Dale Curry. They keep panning to them. So it might even be with NBA TV. I can see NBA TV approaching the Curry family about doing a reality show. I'm genius. Go ahead. Mark that down. Just give me a couple of dollars royalty. That's all I need, man. There you go, NBA TV. I just gave you an idea. If it wasn't already in the works, do a reality show on the Currys and put it on NBA TV. You'd boost viewership greatly. From Jungle Brother, dialing DSS. I don't know what that means. Dollars and cents. Tree, your kids smuggling fast food burgers. Damn. Brian Lucas, Tree, you having a MCD in 7 years. William Mack, Tree Peterson in this piece. Whoop them kids. Grego, Chick-fil-A, and Zaxby's are the only two legit. I disagree with y'all. Vince Wright, McDonald's is losing so much money now. They suck because of the quality. The quality, let me say this. The quality, and I just talked about this kind of. The quality and the respect for your job is not what it was when I was growing up. Like, McDonald's wasn't a bad job to have, especially for a teenager back then. And the customer service was fantastic. Now these kids that work at these fast food places and these people, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, man, you can tell they don't want to be there. They don't give a damn about customer service. A lot of times you go, the problems I got with a lot of these fast food places these days is when you go in there, it's kind of hit or miss. In some places more so than others. It's hit or miss whether you're going to get hot food or whether it's been sitting there for a long time. And remember earlier I talked about how when I worked at McDonald's, they let us take all of the food at the end of the night home, you know, if they didn't sell it. So they also had this thing where they wouldn't sell it if it was over like 8 minutes sitting in the bin. The little place after you made it and they kept it warm or whatever. They don't do it now. They kind of make it on the fly. They make it right now fresh kind of. But for some reason, I'll go in a place now and, you know, it's kind of like hit or miss once again on whether I'm getting something hot. Back when I was working at McDonald's, they got rid of it. They threw it in the trash after 6 or 7 minutes. So it was kind of like a game. It was kind of like a game. You didn't want to lose money by making it and letting it sit there and having to throw it away. So you tried to make it and keep enough in there, and you tried to adjust and tried to predict when people would come in, when you'd have, rushes. It's just kind of different now, man. We really respected those burgers back in '84. Don't go away. My number one, or one of my favorite hamburgers of all time. We get back. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Fun show today, man. So I love talking about stuff like this, man, outside of the norm. Today is National Hamburger Day. I mean, to celebrate, man, I might go get me a burger today. I've been trying to cut back, but I still love me a good burger. So all day I've been talking about the top hamburgers, my favorite hamburgers, not specifically hamburger places, but hamburgers on the menu. And I talked about the Checkers Champ with cheese, the Quarter Pounder with cheese for McDonald's, the Wendy's Single with cheese at Wendy's, the Whopper for Burger King, which, oh, man, you remember when I was, I'm saying you remember like you were there with me, like you were in the studio here with me. But when I was in college, Burger King had the audacity, and this was between 89 and 93, and they did it for like all 4 years I was in college at South Carolina State. Burger King had the audacity to sell Whoppers for $1, like on Friday or something like that. When I tell you, ninjas was piling up on Whoppers on Friday, believe me. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I had the Whopper. I mentioned the Whopper as well, and then another one. And this is one of my favorites. And once again, I didn't put these in order at all. even though I kept going in this particular order, champ with cheese, quarter pounder with cheese, Wendy's single, Whopper. I didn't put these in any order at all, but you may have heard me say this before, but I am absolutely in love with the Big Mac. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That Big Mac is so phenomenal. And if you, once again, I mentioned this a little bit earlier about going to these places and it's hit or miss and whether you get a hot one or not. But if you get a nice hot Big Mac, man, with 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. If you get a hot one, man, it's just divine. It's just divine. Yeah. So I love that Big Mac. I did a calculation a while back, and let me see if I can do it real quick here. Let me pull up my calculator here on my little phone sitting by me right here. I did a calculation, man, where from the age of 10, I'm going to guess that I probably had between the age of 10 and like 30, I probably ate 2 Big Macs a month, sometimes even more. Maybe 3 a month. And now in the last like 10 years, I kind of cut back and I probably have at least 1, most of the time 2 a month. I've probably eaten, or not probably, based on my calculations, I've eaten well over 1,000 Big Macs in my life. By that math. Yes. And it's crazy because you would think I'd get sick of it. I mean, I used to work at McDonald's for a couple of years, so I used to eat more than 3 or 4. I probably ate, 10 or 15 Big Macs a month when I worked at McDonald's as a teenager. And then, once again, probably 2 a month for the next 20 years, and now 1 a month, maybe even 1 or more a month for the last like 10 or 15. I've eaten over 1,000 Big Macs in my life, and you'd think I'd get tired of it. But no, sirree. Just like a good episode of Good Times, I never get tired of a Big Mac. Yes, sir. Ooh-wee. Tree probably is curling up in her seat. She walked out of the studio for a second. She's walking back now. Tree, you probably hate the fact that I love a Big Mac so much. I'm like Wimpy from Popeye. Just keep feeding me Big Macs.
I'm just concerned. I think a good enema would be in line. Ooh, boy.
Speaking of which, I'm about to get scheduled to have one of those colonoscopy things. I'm not looking forward to that. But I actually had an appointment last week where they had to go in and do like this pre-consultation type thing.
Yeah.
And so you're supposed to have one every 10 years. I've never had one, but at the age of 45, they're telling black men to do it. And so I'm 45.
Are you sure you colon or prostate?
It's a colonoscopy.
Okay.
That's what it's called. It's called a colonoscopy. So I guess the colon.
I wonder what they're going to find.
Where they're going to stick something up me. And look, they're looking for colon prostate polyps,
right,
which is kind of like a predeterminer of prostate cancer. And so at 45, you're supposed to get it done. They're telling black men to do it at 45. And so I had the little pre-op type of thing they call it, where they just consult me about it. And then I'm supposed to go in there within the next 90 days and do it. I'm not looking forward to that. I am not looking. And they actually, I didn't even realize it, but they actually put you under. I'm definitely not looking forward to that. Some of the honorable mentions, and I hate to talk about that and food in the same sentence, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I had some honorable mentions as well. Restaurants. Johnny Rockets, the great Johnny Rockets. I love me some Johnny Rockets. Whataburger, somebody mentioned that earlier. Five Guys, which has really just started a craze around here in Atlanta. Fat Burger, I mentioned them. In-N-Out Burger, I mentioned them. And Fuddruckers, we mentioned them as well. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what's that?
T from Huntsville. What up, baby?
Man, just listening, slightly concerned, man. This isn't necessarily for you because I know how you feel about it. I'm not going to change your mind. Dogs and Poodles, we are a unique group. We are special. I care about all y'all cats. We like-minded. We see through the BS. I need y'all to be healthy and not necessarily listen to Doug, enjoy the show, fast food burgers, stay away from them for the love of God. I need y'all to stay alive for me. I need an audience. I need y'all to grow. Listen
so wait, T, stop for a second. Stop for a second, T. Stop for a second. So you're concerning me. Now you're scaring me. So you're saying that the consumption of fast food is going to shorten my life, T? That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Well, no, not necessarily, sir, but as far as, okay, I'm going to tell you what you probably got going. You probably got what I got, which is good genes. I think you call it good stock. You can get away with eating that stuff the same way I can. I can almost eat anything and I don't really gain that much weight. When you give that advice to other people, sir, you are taking them out because they lose their core strength. That core gets out of shape, and that breaks the rest of your body down.
Right.
I challenge you dogs and poodles to do this. Stay away from that stuff for about a month. If you eat it for about a good month, maybe 2. Then go back and eat it and watch what it does to your body. You're going to think you drunk Mexican tap water. You need to watch out what you're doing with that fast food stuff. Well, I know what you're saying, man. And just like the quality of beef, the nutrients, and all that good stuff is usually in a burger at fast food restaurants, I'm wrong.
Appreciate the call, T. Appreciate the call. Well, now listen, I'm not telling you to eat fast food over fruits and vegetables and good stuff. I'm not telling you that. Clearly, you want to do some type of workout regimen. You don't want to just keep eating Big Macs and not run or do any weightlifting or anything like that. I mean, I'm not saying that. I also believe that there's some type of addictive quality to fast food as well. And then it's also the way that our country is set up, our system is set up. Like, if you're a person that's on the go and you drive a lot and you're on the road and you're out of the house and you're not in your kitchen where you can make good things, cook, fruits, vegetables or whatever, cook vegetables or whatever, and you're out, it's almost set up for you to eat fast food. Like a lot of times I'll say to myself, man, damn, I shouldn't be eating this fast food, but there's nothing else that's quick. If you don't have time, if you're, in between meetings or whatever, it's hard to beat a Big Mac and fries, man. It's real hard to beat that. It just is. I mean, I'm keeping it real. From Ronald Cameron, if kids act like Riley, then yes, leave them in the back. Yeah, and that's the thing with little Riley Cooper I started to show off with, and I named today's show, I Had Enough with That Kid, Steph, is I think Riley's just too young. She's 2 years old. And now 2 times in a row where she's just lost her damn mind, and you got to put a stop to that, bruh. I mean, come on, man. It's almost like your mama saying, I can't take y'all nowhere. Y'all act up and you ain't going back to me with so-and-so places. Brian Lucas, that's what I was trying to say last week. Nobody hating on kids, but like old school says, kids are to be seen but not heard from. From Brian Lucas, that's funny. From Boosa, just like in the black church, you have to control the kids or take them to the fellowship hall. Yeah. And the preacher a lot of times will say, just let the kids go ahead and play. But if the kids get off the chain, you got to take them to the fellowship hall. It's as simple as that. And so Riley Cooper is going to that fellowship hall in the sky from now on. Yes, sir! Take her ass to the fellowship hall. Because she is off the chain. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Oh, man. I had so much great chat to read, man. Let me look at this. Wow, 1,300 messages in the chat room. I think that's a record. See, I could add another hour and just read chat easily. Add chat, just read chat. Have a call in. Do something like that. Easy. But we need to get a couple dollars to do a third hour. It's as simple as that. Speaking of which, you can donate to the Doug Stewart Show, man, at thedougstewartshow.com. This ain't no joke here. This is serious business. Go to thedougstewartshow.com, click on the donate button, and if you donate $20 or more, we'll send you an official The Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. All right, that's thedougstewartshow.com. All right, man, thank you to everybody today that listened to the show. All of the new people as well, thank you very much. All of the Stewies, thank you. Shouts out to my producer, The Tree of Life, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, my engineers, thank you so much. We'll do it again tomorrow on a Free Fall Friday. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace!